The bell of Dead Man's Wharf, Crescent City, California, northern coast. When the bell tolls at Dead Man's Wharf, someone dies before dawn. Most brush it off as a sea shanty, a fisherman's tale. But I'm here to tell you the story of the time it rang and someone listened. Part 1. The Legend. Long before Crescent City had paved roads and coffee shops, it had the Cape Mendocino Lighthouse, a squat, iron giant with a heavy bronze bell used in dense fog. It sat on a cliff above what's now called Dead Man's Wharf, a jagged stretch of black rock and driftwood that's taken down over 24 ships since the 1800s. In 1894, a storm unlike any other rolled in from the Pacific. The lighthouse keeper at the time, Elijah Moore, a Civil War veteran turned hermit, rang the fog bell for hours trying to warn a ship caught in the gale. That ship, the Juniper, never made it. All hands lost. Elijah, racked with guilt, rang the bell one last time and disappeared that night. No one ever found his body. Since then, the legend says that the bell rings on its own, but only before someone in town dies unexpectedly. The thing is, the bell was removed decades ago. It sits silent and rusted in the local museum. But sometimes, just sometimes on the right kind of foggy night, the sound still echoes down the coast. Part 2. The Stranger. It was a Monday. Cold, gray, and quiet, the kind of day where the sky blends into the ocean. A local high school teacher, Ms. Ramirez, was walking her dog along the cliff trail just before dusk. She told friends later she thought she heard a deep, metallic ringing, but chalked it up to a buoy or her imagination. But then came the stranger. Around 9 p.m., a tall man in an old-fashioned coat soaked through like he'd walked out of the sea was seen standing at the edge of the museum where the original bell is displayed behind thick glass. The night shift janitor, a retired Coast Guard officer named Bill, asked if the man needed help. The stranger didn't respond. He just stared at the bell, lips moving like he was whispering something. Then the lights flickered. When Bill turned back, the man was gone. No footprints, no door opened, no alarm triggered. And that is when the power in town flickered again and every dog in Crescent City began to howl. Part 3. The bell rings at 2:13 a.m. A local fisherman, Nick Hastings, was walking back to his truck after checking his crab pots near the wharf. In the thick of the fog, he heard something that stopped him cold. A bell, not a distant clang from a buoy, not a church bell. A clear, low, metallic toll, just like the fog bell from the old lighthouse. He turned toward the museum, more out of instinct than logic, and saw, or maybe imagined, a flicker of yellow lamplight inside, like someone was walking with an old oil lantern. Nick told his wife the next morning, "I thought about following it, but I felt wrong. Like something was behind me, watching." He left his gear right there and drove straight home. Part 4. The Death by Sunrise. The fog had lifted. So had the calm. Around 7 a.m., a jogger found the body of Ms. Ramirez, lying just below the trail near Dead Man's Wharf. No bruises, no wounds. But her dog was found trembling, leash snapped, several feet away. The coroner ruled it a sudden cardiac arrest. But her family insisted she was healthy. No history, no symptoms. The timing? Roughly 5 hours after the bell rang. The museum's security camera footage was checked the next day. There were 6 full minutes of static between 2:10 and 2:16 a.m. And when the video came back, the bell case's glass was fogged up from the inside. Part 5. The return in the weeks that followed. More people reported hearing the bell. A teenager claimed he saw a man in an old uniform standing on the rocks below the lighthouse trail. A woman walking her baby said her stroller's metal frame began to vibrate just as the fog rolled in and the sound echoed down the coast again. The city has tried to explain it away. Some say it's metal fatigue in the bell housing or seismic vibrations. Others blame it on the wind, the fog, or just small-town paranoia. But locals know better. They've started leaving seashells and small lanterns near the museum, steps old tokens of protection and respect for the dead. Because everyone in Crescent City understands when the bell rings, it means someone is next. Have you ever heard a ghostly bell in the fog? Would you follow the sound or run the other way? Let me know in the comments, and if you like this tale from the Northern California coast, subscribe for more true and terrifying stories from the Golden State.